Welcome to the House of Rugby, brought to you by Joe. Yes, we are back with a brand new series and we've got a packed show tonight. We'll be answering some of your questions, playing a brand new game and talking all things autumn internationals. I'm joined by my good friend, the big goose himself, Seán O'Brien, likes to be called the Tullow Tank, and this week's guest, the legend and friend of the show, Adam Jones, Bomb. Why are you called Bomb?
There's a wrestler in the 80s, early 90s, got Adam Bomb. That's it. It's rubbish.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I see on Twitter you seem to be trending at the moment with your vest wearing for these winter games. Is there going to be a point where you move to like a body warmer, a gilet, jumper?
I seen him last night. There was no vest on him last night. He was wearing a jacket.
Well, let's be fair.
Have you moved already?
It's not that cold.
It's not that warm.
It's a lot warmer up here than it is in Wales.
8-9 p.m. on a Friday night. It's
Tell you, Bomb, you're looking in some shape there.
Yeah, no, let's have a few pints there.
You're as lean as lettuce.
Yeah, that's my 160 bench press isn't in that picture.
Looking happy as well.
Yeah, well, I look tired, don't I?
And Seánie, good to see us. Yeah, good to have a break from me.
Great.
Certainly, good to be back.
Great to be back. Great to be back with you two boys. Missed yous a little bit, but enjoyed the break nonetheless. Got myself a new pup.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Second dog.
Oh, dog.
Yeah.
I've heard rumours that you are the best dog trainer, and like some of the videos you show me are amazing. But every time we do like a Zoom at home, your dogs are crying or whinging, or you're complaining that they've ripped up something in your house. So what happens when outside the house they're great, but inside the house?
Because I'm there, they crave attention. And I can't, when we're on Zooms and stuff, I can't be saying sit down or shut up.
And they just chew everything? I mean,
No, they don't chew a thing.
You said the other day they ripped a few things up.
Yeah, they chewed up my sunglasses.
Okay, so
The
they
little
don't
pup
chew
did.
anything up. But
The little pup did.
You actually train them?
Yeah.
To do what?
Everything. Sit, stay,
Talk?
patience. Sing. They howl.
Sing.
When I'm singing, they sing.
Well, what kind of things do you sing?
Everything.
Islands Call?
You got give us something. Because you're famous for singing Shallow.
A bit of Johnny Cash.
Just give us a little rendition.
I'm not giving you a rendition.
Why not?
But what I will do is I'll video it and I'll show it to you next week. How the
Okay.
dog responds to me.
All right, moving it back to London Irish. Great win at the weekend. I thought you were outstanding. Deserved the win. Obviously, you did nothing.
there was.
You didn't play.
I didn't play, yeah. They're way better off without me.
Yeah. Are you retired now, basically? The team's doing so well without you.
No, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. We were knocking on the door the last few weeks. We've had some really good patches and games. Clawed it back a few times in different games to get draws and stuff. So there was a performance coming, and thankfully at the weekend we got a lot of things right. And it's such a tough place, as we all know, to go down there. But trained well during the week, short turnaround. Hopefully that's that little monkey off our back now. We were banging the door obviously the last few weeks. So yeah, hopefully we rock on now into this week. We've Bristol at home, which will be a tough game, but one we're all looking forward to.
Anyways, Bomb. Quins, another win at the weekend. Doing well.
Yeah.
Bath obviously came at you quite hard early on, but came through. Must be happy.
Yeah, bonus point. I think they were a little bit more up for it, they seemed, than the week before. They're a good side, and they kind of made it hard for us. We kind of scored 2 early tries and kind of put a foot off the pedal a bit. Joe got yellow carded and they scored 2 tries. So yeah, we came through in the end. It's all building up nicely for the big one next week, isn't it? So
And be an unbelievable crowd, I imagine, as always there is at Stoop on Sunday. The fans will be looking forward to that, no doubt.
Yeah, I think since I've been there, certainly it's the big one, isn't it? It's the big one for us. Obviously, you guys have been phenomenally successful, and we probably haven't got to those standards until last year. And it's very much like the old sort of when Wales used to play in the 80s and 90s. As long as they beat England, nothing else mattered really. But for the Quins fan, it's the big one to beat Saracens. And but no, it's, obviously we're the champions now, and you guys have over the last 10 years kind of set the standard. So
it's a bit more even now, Bomb.
I think we spoke a bit earlier. It'd be nice to see all the England players playing. Faz against Marcus Smith. Dom Rand against Billy Vinapola. This type of stuff. And it's a shame that it's not going to be the case. But I'm sure it'll be pretty hostile and pretty. A bit of bite to the game anyway.
Moving forward, there is some news this week. Some retirements. Mornay Stain, someone you're probably quite happy to see the back of. Retired at 37.
Yeah.
Obviously, phenomenal player, phenomenal career. Seánie, did you play against him? Do you ever get your hands on him from 7?
I did actually when he was with Montpellier a few years ago now. But yeah, an unbelievable player, to be fair. Someone who's went that whole circle with the Lions, I think, is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
To go back to 2009 and then play against them this year.
And did the same thing twice.
Yeah.
In 12 years apart.
I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy. I was actually in an ambulance when he did it in 09. But
It's a shoulder, yeah.
yeah, but it was, to do it twice and it's absolutely bonkers.
Good luck to him. And then Hallamamos has announced that he's going to retire at the end of the year, become a doctor and focus on his medical career. Obviously,
Actually, yeah, I did.
he's only 27 years old as well.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't actually. I thought he was a lot older because he's been around for a long time. He was capped early, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and I remember playing a lot against him years ago. A lot of the Welsh lads kind of get in a bit younger, don't they?
Nice kid, quite quiet, but he's done well, you know.
He'll definitely have a nicer lifestyle now as well.
Yeah, a lot easier. And on that, Seánie, if you weren't a rugby player, what would you be? I know at the moment you think you're a coach, a player, a tarmac layer, a builder, a dog trainer.
I would work at anything, but what I wanted to do when I was younger was be a vet.
7 years at uni.
You'll be struggling.
He'd love that. He'd be the Van Wilder of uni, but he'd never get a degree, ever.
I would openly admit that I wouldn't have the academics to be a vet, obviously. It's worse than a doctor.
No, mate. I know what you're asking. You're really clever. We think you're very intelligent.
In my own way, I am, maybe. But
Street smart.
Yeah, street smart. I think it's just that whole thing of growing up on a farm, working with animals, knowing what you could do with animals and etc. But it's a terrible lifestyle. Veterinary is a terrible lifestyle. What are you laughing at?
No, maybe we should move on from that. I shouldn't ask you what do you like about working with animals. And Bomb, ever been tempted by anything else?
No, I was struggling. In school, I didn't work. I wasn't good at school.
Oh, yeah, you're having a right laugh at me. What about you? For f***'s sake.
Just about to work in the DVLA in Swansea, which is the driving stuff, if you call it. And then I got
didn't even know what it is.
Driving vehicle license agency. Yeah. So
Sorry.
New rule about leggings. You're allowed to wear tights, leggings, skins.
Completely against it.
Okay, well, hang on, Seán. There's two players who've won this weekend, I think. I saw two. Johnny May and Max Malins.
Two
Both
wins.
scored. So Max is a teammate of mine, but it was embarrassing at the weekend where he had his leggings on, and then he put Vaseline over the top of his knees as well. I mean, he was taking a lot of stick from the boys, but I mean, he scored 4 tries. So
does he mind?
I think he just hopes his knees will be all right.
That's horrendous.
Yeah. Okay, so question, because you're very money orientated. How much would you have to be paid to wear skins?
Or any other brand?
50k.
Johnny, you priced yourself out of the market. This is your chance. I'm trying to help you here, mate. But anyways, moving on. Newcastle have 4 players selected in the England squad at the moment.
Playing a nice brand of rugby, working hard for each other, and they do seem very close to have that whole camaraderie side of it sorted, and they seem tight knit.
They spoke this week about their team spirit and their cohesion. They've introduced a forfeit system. Anyone breaks the code of conduct, they've got a wheel of fortune. You've got to get a full spray tan before a game. You've got turning up in training wearing a suit before sessions, or even licking Carl Ferns' head, which is an interesting one. I mean, you've been around a long time. Have you ever been part of a club where you've got that kind of thing?
Yeah, similar things. Not to tan now, mind you, but there's a few ex-Irish rugby players that probably Donny O'Callaghan would have loved that. But the suit one is the biggest pain in the arse of all time. I've had to do that a few times.
What for? Lateness or?
Yeah, kind of to be repeat offences.
Training?
Fighting. It could have been something stupid like that. Lateness twice or 3 times, then you have to wear the suit all week.
The one of the Lions, the famous one, the dice.
That was, were you involved in that?
Yeah,
You were one of the people.
That was good fun that day. So he had to ring.
Rob Penny was there.
He'd ring Rob Penny and ask him to be captain. And when he picked up the phone, Rob was like, when Zebo asked him, Rob was like, he hesitated for a second because he was like, didn't know what to say to him, because of all people who's going to be the captain, it's not going to be Zebo.
Yeah, he's like,
it's still up for debate, mate.
I'll put your name in the hat. Yeah.
I think it does give a feel good factor around environments though, but just as long as it's short and sharp.
Obviously, we haven't seen you much since the Quins winning the Premiership. Just, give us a feel of what that was like. That whole run, really.
We actually played a big part in that, if you don't mind me saying so.
It always goes back to Seánie.
That was the game that you beat us in the last play, and you
with 14 men.
Yeah, you went on a run after that, and that was it.
Were you in the stands on that one as well?
Yeah, I was in the stands. Yeah.
Yeah, they obviously pushed us. Would give us confidence we beat them to the title. So it's we're more going to say the Irish than the Irish.
Enjoy coaching more than you did as a player.
I was on a diet for 20 years when I was a player, so it wasn't a particularly fun time at times with my diet going and my weight going up and down. So, but I like the fact I'm still, Monday to Saturday. You've still got the buzz of the match day on Saturday, working on a plan, and when it comes together, that's a big buzz. It's nothing beats, running out in front of in the Millennium Stadium and 70,000 people. I don't think I've ever had a feeling when we won the final on a rugby pitch, and fortunately to have won a few,
I was going to say,
few things in rugby. To
have
that
best thing,
that feeling when we won, it was crazy. It was a sort of out the body experience, really.
Coaching in the future, have you looked any further in terms of would one day like to be a coach of Wales or a national coach somewhere?
Oh look, I love it here. I'm out of contract now this year, so any chance? But it's
Jesus, Seánie's trying to steal your job at Quinn, so be careful, mate.
Scrum coach never. No, I would. I think you want to coach a country. You want to coach internationally. I think that would be something. But I'm still pretty young. I'm sort of my 4th year into it. So I love the way the club's going at the moment.
Time for something new this week. This is Goode Question. This week we ask you, our beloved fans, to send in your questions that you might have for us in the studio using the hashtag Goode Question. We've got some here. Matty Lynch is up first. Who should be the next England manager?
After Southgate?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, any on that? Seánie hates football, so couldn't even name another manager. Probably not Ollie. You probably know that, don't you? He's struggling.
Yeah.
Anyways, next England rugby coach.
I probably think Borthwick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of names: Andy Farrell, Steve Borthwick, Gatland, Rob Baxter, Scott Robertson, Mark McCall.
Mark McCall won't leave Saris.
Okay, so give your reasons for why.
I kind of think Borthwick.
Obviously, they've got 6 from 6 at the moment, Leicester. They're flying.
I suppose his captaincy over the years, been there, done that, gaining more experience as a head coach. The team he's running at the minute is playing some exceptional rugby. He's an Englishman. He knows the DNA of what he might want from them. He's just probably a natural fit, I think, rather than going outside of England. Just from me looking in, and that's why I'd say that he comes to my head straight away. Anyway,
this is his 2nd year in charge. They have 1 more year before the World Cup. Is that enough as a head coach before being an international head coach?
He's obviously worked under Eddie in England before. I'm sure he captained England, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's obviously been in the system, and he's come through. I think.
And the Lions, 2017 forwards coach. He genuinely one of the best coaches I've worked with.
I mean, he's an unbelievable coach. There's no doubt about it. But being a head coach, let alone of England, with everything that comes with it, the media, scrutiny, the difficulties, the ups and downs, it's just, I'm playing devil's advocate. Because he's captain me and he was one of the best captains I've ever had.
I think the media and stuff, he's pretty, he's pretty dry. He's pretty, doesn't
give much away.
Yeah.
If the opportunity came for Scott Robinson, obviously how much success he's had with the Crusaders.
I think it's tough for him not being up here, as in, Gats at least, I saw Gats there as well. Gats would have had that time with Wasps and out in Ireland, so he knew the Northern Hemisphere player. I think it'd be hard. I'm not saying he's a good coach, by the way, he's obviously fantastic, but it's a different sort of rugby, different sort of players than the Crusaders. I'm sure he'd do a wonderful job. I think it's a much tougher gig to come and coach if you've never coached up here.
One more question. James Lee on Facebook. Who has had the best Halloween fancy dress? Seánie, what's been your best effort in fancy dress? Do you do fancy dress?
I've done fancy dress a few
It's aimed at me. I'm not sure about the balaclavas comment.
Well,
who wears balaclavas apart from a robber?
The funny thing about it was, at home, when I was younger, that's all I used to dress as, was a robber.
A robber?
So I used to put on the balaclava I used to use for shooting at home.
She didn't go trick-or-treating. You went to rob people.
No, I didn't rob people.
Shooting.
But that's what I was. I was a robber, or a hunter maybe, or something.
Famous
whatever
Halloween.
I had in the house at the time. The only thing I did change it up for one Halloween, I was in my mid-20s. I dressed as the Jolly Green Giant and had this lycra pants on. I remember lycra suit on, and painted my face and stuff, and had this stupid hat on. But it was 3 sizes too small for me. The whole thing when I opened it up.
Super top. You pack a sock down there? Banana?
It was a bit on show.
I'm about to say, your fancy dress is usually getting naked, so I mean. Anyways, Bomb, you?
Yeah, I don't mind the fancy dress, yeah. I used to think I used to put quite a bit of effort into it till I came to Quinn's, and they love a fancy dress. The amount of detail that goes into some of the stuff was, my first year, I was lucky enough to be the defence in the court case, and some of the fancy dress was just an absolute.
If you're gonna do it though, you got to do it properly.
Yeah, I think so. So that
We've got a view actually, mate. Unbelievable. Is that Natalie Portman, is it?
That was me and that was my 30th birthday party. I had a joint party with Ryan Jones, who came as Ron Burgundy because he's so boring and talks rubbish on the media.
Are you a rabbit, are you?
I don't know where my right hand is.
Yeah, I was saying, what are you doing with that right hand?
Yeah,
reaching around.
I think that's maybe at Rowan, who was obviously not the most imaginative white T-shirt and the Sylvester the Cat hat, but no, there was actually some good efforts that night, to be fair.
We've got a few more up here, I believe. There's me dressed as a nun.
Oh, you look like Gavin from Gavin and Stacey. There.
You actually do look a bit like a bird, like.
Sexy. Don't ask my number.
I wouldn't go that far.
Matador.
Beautiful.
That's like my tackling, so let's keep going. Next one. This is, me as the Joker from Batman.
That's a good one, to be fair.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It's a good wig.
It took a long time doing that makeup, and then the more it went on in the day, it actually looked
Did you
better.
do it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Someone helped me with that, so it was nice.
Who?
A friend. Me and my mate, Duncan Taylor, the two wet bandits.
That's very good, yeah.
Not that I want to point
Sticky
out the detail,
bandits.
but
That's
you know,
natural hair,
bandits.
isn't it?
yeah, that's your hair. Yeah. Really went for the detail. We got the burnt heads, burnt hand.
One of my favourite films.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Yeah, simple. You know who he would remind me of is the guy in Home Alone, the first one. The guy with the sort of shovel just comes in and just whacks someone.
I think with the brother, is it Buzz, is it?
Buzz, yeah. I've been called Buzz before, yeah.
I can see it.
That's a fair point.
Is Buzz the one who wets the bed?
That's you.
With the flat top, Buzz,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Well, keep your questions coming in on the House of Rugby Facebook page. Tweet us at House of Rugby using the hashtag Goode Question, and you could feature in next week's show. Time now for a brand new House of Rugby game. Beat the Bomb. Very good name. Obviously, you rate yourself as the Oracle of Rugby. You've been on Question of Sport, Mastermind. You just told me you got 12 out of 12 on Mastermind, so you back yourself. So we thought we'd make it pretty simple for you, give you an easy first up test, and that is Seán O'Brien, the challenger today. Seán, you back yourself? You think you do all right?
I'm ready.
First on the buzzer gets to answer the question first, and first to 5 wins. And I'll ask you both a set of questions. Seánie, what would you like if you win?
Nice steak dinner somewhere.
Bon, what would you like in return? Trip to Dubai?
Quarter of your wages.
Superb, done. Right, let's get into it. Beat the Bomb. First question. Who is credited with inventing rugby union? Bomb, full name.
William Webb Ellis.
Correct. 1-0.
This is a setup.
Mate, it's all right.
I hit it before he did.
You did not did it.
You're ridiculous, all right?
He went-
Let's carry on. All right, second question. By the way, what did you say before? If it's 5-0, will you do a naked lap?
I will.
You do a naked lap. We heard it here first. What is the furthest stage Ireland have progressed to a rugby?
Quarterfinal.
Is correct. The full question was...
You're looking at questions there, are you?
What is the furthest stage Ireland have progressed to at a Rugby World Cup quarter-final?
How would you know that?
Because you lost to us.
No, not
Okay.
quarterfinal. How would you know the question?
Question 3.
This is a setup, you.
It says what he's saying the question.
Go on.
Who coached the Lions to the infamous series victory over South Africa in 1997?
Me first, surely. 97.
Yeah, hurry up, mate.
Geeks.
Full name?
Ian McGeechan.
Well, it's Sir, but I'll give it to you. 2-1.
No naked laugh.
I'm quite upset.
Pressure's off.
I was hoping the studio would tell me you were second just for the naked lap. Who is the most capped Test player of all time? And bonus point, how many caps do they have? Seánie,
The most capped of all time is Alman Jones.
bonus point, how many caps?
147.
That's incorrect. It can't be
can't be?
passed over. 2-2. Bomb's getting
I know, give
sweaty now.
it. Got sweaty palms now.
How many Grand Slams have Ireland won?
Yes. I was there way before him.
Whoa.
Bomb.
3.
Correct.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah.
Can you sort of shuffling? Give it a good slam.
Can we have a
I'm gonna
let's have a
I'm
bit.
gonna
Let's
hit
You
it
can
harder.
break it if you want.
Okay.
Let's have a bit of a gap in
Well,
it.
yeah, have a bit of
Right,
space
okay,
to make
yeah.
it easier.
Let's go.
Okay, 3-2. Which country won the last ever Five Nations? Bomb
Scotland.
is correct. Last ever Five Nations Championship in 1999.
Grand.
Bomb, if you get this one, you win. And what did you want from him? A quarter of your wages. You could be a rich man.
Exactly.
Winning the lottery at that. Which nation are the only side to lose in 3 World Cup finals? Seán
France.
is correct.
That was a long answer.
There's a long pause.
That was a long
Well done,
answer.
Seánie, you're back in this.
A long answer.
Who did England suffer their largest ever defeat against? Bonus point for the score. The largest ever defeat.
I'm
Sean.
going to chance it. It was against South Africa.
It's incorrect. I wish you'd been right. It's Australia, 76-0, 1998.
Does he lose a point for that?
No.
Okay.
Really?
Don't get negative points. Still 4-3, I believe. Italy's last Six Nations victory came in 2015. It was actually Sean.
Yeah.
2015.
Oh, come on, he's stalling. This is
Hurry up.
ridiculous. Come on.
2015, wasn't it?
Hurry up. 3, 2, 1.
Scotland.
It's correct.
Ridiculously long hours.
If that long again
Do you know
next
why?
time.
Do you know why I delayed there? Honestly, they nearly beat us over there, and I actually thought I was involved in the game. I'm
Okay,
going to win.
right, this
I'm
is
gonna
decider. I want a gap.
How high?
A bit higher. About there.
6 inches.
I don't know what your 6 inches looks like.
Very good.
Shawnee staked dinner on this.
Yeah.
And this would actually ruin Beat the Bomb for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I know.
If you get hit by Sean, the game's over. Right. Who defeated Wales in their World Cup semi-final?
Wales
France.
question.
Yes. Congratulations, you've left me hanging, so that's awful.
Oh, sorry.
Mate, you had Irish questions.
Should have been a neutral.
I've got to say, you did really well.
Yeah,
mate.
undefeated. Good.
Well, that's it for Beat the Bomb. It will be a regular feature every week. You'll be playing against different guests every week. So thank goodness you won against Shawnee, otherwise the game was dead. So
Thank goodness.
thanks a lot for joining us for Beat the Bomb.
Thank you.
So the Autumn International start on Saturday. Which of the games are you most looking forward to?
I think Wales, New Zealand. I think, it's going to be a tough one, isn't it? It's always pretty tough.
Shawnee?
Yeah,
yourself?
I think actually Ireland, New Zealand is going to be very interesting with the squad he's picked this year.
I quite like the France New Zealand at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
One England, South Africa.
England, Australia, I think it'll be a cracker too.
Yeah, Aussies are playing well.
Aussies are playing well.
Picked up form.
Yeah.
England, new squad. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, it should be good, shouldn't it, I think?
Particular players you're looking forward to seeing. You can't just say the whole New Zealand backline, but
I want to see how Marcus goes. Obviously being a Quins guy, and if he gets a chance, I think I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to see how he goes with possibly Faz at 12 as well. I think there's going to be a few big results. South Africa will definitely lose a couple, I reckon. Mm-hmm. And if anyone can get a win over New Zealand, I think it's going to be a pretty big scalp, isn't it?
have you beaten them?
No, I beat them with the Lions, but I haven't beaten them with Ireland. Should have beat them. Made a couple of mistakes actually myself, that the bad ones.
Catching the ball.
Yeah, that was one of them off the peel. Yeah.
Never passed since.
Thanks, Bomb.
Looking ahead to the fixtures this opening weekend, we've got Scotland taking on Tonga at Murrayfield on Saturday. Shawnee, you fancying Scotland there?
Yeah, I'd have to go with Scotland. You know, they've been playing a nice brand of rugby. They have improved a lot, I think, at set piece. They have exciting backs, so they'll be dangerous. And Tonga, the last game they played, you felt very sorry for them in terms of, the structures they have in place and how they are prepared for these games. So hopefully they give a better account of themselves. But yeah, Scotland win for sure.
Bomb, do you think the Scottish players are going to take a lot of confidence from how many are on the Lions tour and really growing from that experience?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to play probably more like, how Finn Russell wants to play, how Ali Price wants to play than they did in the summer. But I don't think it's going to be... I looked at the Tonga squad. It seems stronger. There's a lot more Northern Hemisphere based players in it this time. I think it's not going to be like a 100-pointer. I think it'll be competitive. They're definitely going to want to kind of front up against Scotland, and there's going to be some sore bodies there the next day, I think. And hopefully they get stuck into Scotland and they have a good account of themselves.
And Shawnee wants to watch from Tonga?
Steve Murphy.
Strong, mate. I like that.
Lovely.
Well played.
The one glove.
The glove.
Yeah.
That's what we call him, the glove.
Yeah.
The glove. He's got good hands, to be fair. You should take some lessons. But moving on to Wales taking on New Zealand in Cardiff. Obviously, one of the biggest games in the history of rugby, really. One that everyone looks forward to. I've been told to read this stat out. Wales not beaten New Zealand since 1953.
Yeah. I know.
Is this going to be the year?
Oh, I don't know. They've gone pretty well, haven't they?
Not a bad side.
Yeah, they're I guess the good thing about Wales is kind of, as much as the regions struggle a wee bit every now and again, it's very much a team Wales thing, as everyone's geared towards a test match team. And when they come together, it's, especially in Cardiff, it'll be a tough proposition, I think. Mm-hmm. You look at the front five, they'll have, if you include Thomas Francis and that, probably 5 Lions. The back row is probably, have we got a massive ball carrier to get over the gain line? no, but they're going to, whoever it is, they're going to have Wainwright, Moriarty, the young kid Basham's very good. Really probably will go under the radar. A lot of people wouldn't know much about him. Fantastic player. And yeah, and in the back line, there's a lot of talent there. But, I can't, it's going to be a tough one. It'll be tough. But it's not out of the realms of possibility that we can't beat them.
No, I mean, look,
I'd fancy him. I would fancy him more so with the Prem lads obviously involved, with a few of the leaders and the bigger names, just to give the place confidence. But the one thing about Wales is, as Bomb just said there, when they come together and they put on that red jersey, they're a different animal. So they can do anything. And, they've broken all records before in the past and whatever else. And they still have all those leaders that they have there. Alan Wynne as well, coming up, going to be the most capped ever now of all time, isn't he?
60 caps.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So anything is possible. And especially at home in that stadium. And it's going to be electric.
Best atmosphere, when England come to town or when New Zealand come to town?
Oh, England.
It's still the best.
You played in 13.
I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, different level, huh?
Moving on quickly.
No, it was unbelievable, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, even the bus in, I think there's a guy just ran into the side of the bus and he's a local hero. But it's what you love about the game, though.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're all against you, but to play in that atmosphere, you sort of understand what it's like to play at football stadiums and stuff.
Yeah.
No one's there to support you, but wow, the noise, the electricity, unbelievable. Prediction time now. Throughout the Autumn International, Seánie and I will be going head-to-head with our predictions. Ooh. If we get the result correct, it's 2 points. If we guess the score correctly, it's 5 points. At the end of the series, there will be a loser, and the loser will have to complete a forfeit.
Scotland-Tonga. Obviously, Scotland to win. I'm going to go 44-22.
Oh, good game.
Okay.
Good game.
I am going to go with 46-12. And then predictions for the Wales game?
26-24 New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
34 points to 14.
Ooh.
But I think it'll be tight, and I think the All Blacks will come. No,
You think it'll be tight, yeah.
No, I think they'll do what they always do, and I think that bench thing will be. I think that late on, the New Zealanders will just. I've seen it do it before.
Yeah.
The Welsh team, they score 4 tries in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I've been involved with them, actually.
Yeah. I'd like that to be a real fight.
Yeah,
I
would too.
I don't know.
A real contest.
Yeah. Anyways, if you'd like to play along at home, let us know what your predictions are and join in the comments section. Right, it's time for Good Week, Bad Week. We'll pick out our personal highlights each week from the world of rugby. It could be nakedness, it could be clubhouse celebrations, drinking, or just a proposal on the side of the pitch. This week's Good Week goes to Mike Phillips, your old friend. He was seen returning to grassroots rugby this weekend, playing for his former club, Whitland RFC, at 39. Twice the age of some of the opponents he was playing against, and it didn't stop him leading them to a 26-19 victory. Bomb, are you going to come out of retirement soon?
I was supposed to be in James Hook's game a couple of years ago. I think either a bad ankle or a touch of the gout. So I had to knock it in the head. But no, I think I would for a special occasion. But
Charity.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
God, I'm way past running around. The pitch.
Not just for.
You still lock it down, Bomb.
I didn't run around a great deal when I was playing, but I couldn't do it now. So
I mean, the scrum wouldn't move, mate. You'd be just locking it in attack, and then defensively, you'd be winning penalties every week.
they're generally uncontested scrums as well. Those
Oh, okay,
games.
fair enough. So, Seánie, who's had a bad week this week?
I think the bad part of the week was Sale's, I suppose, overconfident tweet to Leicester, and then Ellis Genge tweeting it back after the game saying that they're welcome back anytime. So I think it was a bit much leading into a big game like that.
Do you think teams' social media, Bomb, are going a bit over the top now?
I know as a player, as a coach, I guess, but you'd kind of not want to go too far. I'm not saying it's too far, but you want to do as much as possible not to annoy the opposition, I think.
Not to go too far.
Yeah.
And then it can come back and bite you sometimes, that stuff like at the weekend, for instance.
What do you make of Genji on social media? Do you enjoy him?
I think he's a bit of a character, yeah. Some stuff like is funny, and then obviously he's in that captaincy role now, so I'd say pull a little bit of it back. He's a character of the game, yeah, for sure.
Fair play. And Seánie, who's going in the sin bin this week?
Sin bin goes to Will Muir of Bath this week after a heavy loss. He is in a very jolly mood. taking selfies to the crowd and putting on horse masks, which wouldn't be ideal after a performance like
Bomb,
that.
what do you make of that with a teammate?
Yeah, not for me. Not for me, no.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got time for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Bomb.
Thanks for having me.
Brilliant to have you dropping by. Seánie, as always, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Remember to find us on Joe YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Goodbye from us.